What did you? What was your mind? What did you think other people's money was, Mike?
Well, when I first started, dude, so in 2014, I went to one of my first real estate events, and it was a pretty expensive event. It cost it's really expensive for my wife and I to go. And we went. It was a real estate tour, and I saw a house I wanted to buy. And the guru there, and I'm like, yeah, man, I want to get that, but I just don't have the capital right now. And I thought I was cool back then using capital instead of money. Apparently, I thought that was more. I thought I was smarter by using that word. And he goes, well, why don't you raise private money to get it? And I'm like, dude, that's a great idea. What's private money? And because I'm like, I don't know what private money is. I had no clue. So when he said that, dude, the first time I heard like, yeah, you can get other people to put the money in the deal and you can give them a piece of the profit or pay them a percentage. I'm like, oh my word. It like blew my mind. And then a few years later, I'm sitting at dinner with a guy and I was like, well, yeah, I learned this thing a few years ago about raising money and you can give them some of the profits so you can keep buying deals. And the guy's like, oh my gosh, that's the best thing I've ever heard. It's like this new concept, but people have been doing it. Heck, we were live with your buddy this morning who's been doing it since the 80s. Right. And so, this is not a new concept, but the power of the concept has never been more powerful than right now. It's so powerful right now for real estate.
So much money out there, right?
There's that because of that very reason, right? There's a lot of capital chasing real estate, and we just have to know the strategy to get in the way of that semi.
That's right,
because it is coming.
Hey,
what's up, Carl? How you doing, buddy?
Carl, what up? Who's that? Carl Randall. What up? What up, y'all?
What up, Carl? Man, Carl looks good. Your profile pic. I need your photographer, man. You look sharp.
He looks sharp. That he looks like he's getting ready to go get some money.
Dude, you look like you could get money today. You looking sharp, my man. You look sharp.
Like crypto money.
Yeah.
Carl, you too much. Man. That's a good.
But I think that I don't know about you, Chris, but I thought when people first started talking about this, I kind of had this cynical view of like, well, okay, that sounds good, but ain't nobody going to hand me over 200 grand or 100,000 or 50. Back then I thought 50,000. Nobody's going to hand me over money. And I began to think, and this is where my mindset was all jacked up. Who in the world is going to give me money? Right. And that's how I began to think. And I think that's what kept me from doing it for years.
Yeah. Who's going to give me? Why am I? Who am I? Who am I to deserve somebody to really finance my real estate deals? Right.
Exactly. That's what I thought, man. I'm like, who's going to pull out of their bank a couple 100,000 and give me capital to do a deal? And then I found out that a lot of people, if you know how to ask them the right way and you have the right things in place, of which I didn't know any of this and made every mistake you can imagine. In fact, I was sitting, Chris, your amazing private money prospectus, or what we call a speaking investing brochure. I remember one time I was sitting in one of my first meetings with investors, one of my first meetings with big investors. He wanted to invest like 400,000. And at the time I was like, are you kidding me? You have $400,000 just laying around. What kind of people are you? That was what I thought back in the day. Right. Well, I'm sitting across this and I didn't realize that there's a lot of those kind of people out there. I was just this guy. I'm like, I'm trying to like keep my mouth from dropping down when he says this kind of money he wants. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, I've got these deals, and I had some deals at the time. And he said, I tell you what, I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm hearing. Why don't you leave your stuff with me, and I'll let's set up a time to talk next week. Well, there was only one problem. I didn't have stuff. I didn't even know what stuff he meant or what stuff was. And so I walked out, and needless to say, that dude never called me. He never picked up a text or an email, right?
I think it's so,
What's that? What were you going to say?
It's just powerful for somebody that shows up with something to leave you. You can thumb through it, take it home. They take time to put a whole joint. To me, it just speaks powerful. There's just tons.
I'm telling you what, if you can put together that perspective, something that shows you've sat down and thought through this, there's a line from amateur to professional. And that's one of the things on that line. There's a few, but that's one of them. Because you cross over, man. Because you're right. You sit in a meetup group and you say, I got a prospectus for you. Just shows you what we do. And all of a sudden they're looking through this. It's like, person's pretty legit.
Yeah.
I had a mentor tell me one time, you cannot raise $1 million looking like 50,000.
Wow.
And
I like that.
and that one hit me hard because I'm like, man, Mike, you got to get your, you know what, in gear, man. You got to get your butt in gears here so we can, because you know what's interesting, it doesn't take any experience to put together a document like that. You can put together the document. You can put it together. You don't have to have done 4, 5, 6 deals or, you know, hundreds. You don't have to have done that. You know what I mean?
Outline. Just have an outline to follow.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
that's
funny
exactly
you say
right.
that. We could round up. Come on in. I wanted to say, I was thinking about, who was that? We had 30 people on. You're not going to raise the money. You're not going to borrow. People, everybody wants money, right? Capital.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
like, I met a guy. I'm like, look, if I were to give you, let's go to the bank. I'm going to give you 100,000 right now. My thing is, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? You can't go spend it. You don't have a plan.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. And if you're here tonight, maybe you've heard the term private capital or private money, private lending. Maybe you've heard these terms. Maybe they're a little new to you. It doesn't matter. It's the idea that we can get people to finance our deals so we never have to stop doing deals. There's a lot of reasons that stop people from doing real estate, but the biggest one is money, right?
Yep.
I mean, so stop me.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to.
Round up. Greetings, class. Good evening. The Black Friday block party is getting cranking right now. Got some goodies for you tonight. I'm actually joining Mike on this. We sat together, put our minds together. We got something for you, man. It's powerful. So don't forget, every day this week, I got my different gurus coming on. Matter of fact, I'm joining gurus. Unbelievable week, guys. It is just an honor. I am Chris Haskins. My mission in ministry is to raise your financial literacy through the vehicles of real estate and entrepreneurship. And doing that, I just get to meet some phenomenal people, trainers, coaches, investors, entrepreneurs. One of them is Mike Fritz. What up, homie?
Hey, brother. How are you doing tonight, my friend? How are things in Virginia?
Man, it's a beautiful rainy day today with the leaves. That smell of the leaves, man.
Oh, yeah.
Just
I love
gorgeous.
it. I love it. I used to live in Michigan, and in Michigan we'd have those fall days, those late fall days when, man, rain to come or the leaves are all changing color. It's absolutely gorgeous. That's awesome, man.
Nice. So tonight we're going to take you guys. I'm going to be your pilot, taking you on a 40,000-foot journey throughout America to talk about the world of private money. Roundup. If you didn't know this, I'm here to tell you. I'm living proof. I've been broke the majority of my life, I promise you. There is a world out there that looks identical to the world that you may be familiar with, conventional real estate. It looks exactly the same, but it is an alternate universe where people like Mike and myself, we go out and we buy real estate without ever having a conversation with a traditional bank, traditional lender. And tonight, I personally, it's in my spirit to share with y'all because I want you to stop worrying about if I only had the money. If I only had the money. Oh, Lord, if I just had the money. Mike, how many times have you heard that just in passing?
Oh, I most of the time. I mean, people that come into even our inner circle that we're teaching to buy $1 million properties, one of the things we have to get them over is, yeah, but I don't have that kind of money. And I keep telling them, man, you don't have to have that kind of money. And the cool thing, you look at, let's say you're going to go do a fix and flip. You see a house down the road is 240,000, right? 240,000. If you look at your bank account as the barometer to if you should do that deal, you will most likely never grow a real estate business.
Wow.
If your bank account is your mental barometer of if you'll do the deal, you most likely will never get into real estate. And I'm telling you, it's when very few real estate investors, and I'm talking the biggest ones you know of, very few of them got into it based on what was in their bank account. They got into it through, what's that?
I didn't
either. I mean, you got into it through, maybe some of you have heard a term of seller financing or seller carry, where they'll carry some. Maybe some of you got into it that way. Or, Chris has talked a lot about creative real estate on his channel, whether it be wholesaling or finding off-market deals and, getting the seller to hold it in all kinds of different real estate. Well, one of those creative ways of real estate, it's raising capital, it's raising money, where people give you real hard dollar bills so you can buy houses, shingles, doors, windows, and you can resell that for a profit and pay them back a higher than normal return, and they are going to be your best friend. I assure you. You know what I mean? And that's a new world for most people, right?
They get mad at you. You don't call them for a few months.
That's true. What's going on? What's going on? I had somebody call me today. They are sitting on millions of capital because they just did a big sale of a bunch of property, and they have it all in what's called a 1031. Don't get caught up in it's just a tax shelter. But they're like, Mike, I need a deal in 45 days. And that's a lot of capital, right? Well, here's what I don't want you to get caught up in the number. I don't care about the number. I care about this. I care about you knowing that there's people out there looking for people just like you that have deals, that know Chris's information and know how to go out, find a deal and negotiate with a seller, that know that. They're looking for you. A lot of people think, oh, they'll never give me money. They're looking for you.
Mike, that is so ironic. I got that same email yesterday, dude.
Really?
Please, it can't be that. Well, my lady doesn't have millions. She's only got a few 100,000, but
it's the same thing though, right?
It
doesn't matter the number.
She's like, I got a 1031. I need to do this money working. So I'm like, wow. So we
both,
I feel like we got a similar path, man.
Yeah. Well, and I think that when people have money in a 1031, and this is the value of being here tonight or listening to Chris's hundreds of videos he has on his channel. This is the value of this.
Yeah, you go.
There's 4 things you need to get into real estate: time, knowledge, deals, and money. Well, if you can get the knowledge and find the money and the deal,
oh man,
you got the time. Oh, you're golden. I mean, like if you're learning, you're getting 25% of the equation night, and then you're learning how to get 50% of the equation.
That is so cool. 1031. Wow, I'm looking at the email. That's crazy. Wow, man. That was
well, Chris, how often would you say in a month, how many times does somebody, or even in a year, how many times does somebody reach out to you and say, Chris, I got some capital. What do you got shaking?
Oh, yeah, that's every week. I mean, I probably one a week.
One a week. Yeah. That's a lot of money. That equals, just so you can perspective, millions and millions of opportunity.
Yeah, we don't want to work with it. We can't even. It's so much. I think our mindset is like, there's so much money in the system now. I got to find a good deals to match it up.
Absolutely. Yeah, we as well have more capital right now than we have deals. But that's what Chris and I started talking. And the number one thing I hear from people is, I need to find investors. How do I find lenders, investors, private money? Mm-hmm. And so we said, okay, let's just get together and start talking what we did when we first started to gain some notoriety and credibility, because that's one of the things that everybody has to figure out when you start is, okay, what do I do first? How do I find people? What do I say to them? Just walk up to them and say, hey, do you have any money? I mean, like, that sounds like a robbery. Like, what do I say to people, right? I mean, so how do I communicate? And that's the secret sauce of learning where these investors live and what do they like? How do they like to be communicated with? You know, and oh my gosh, did I make mistakes in this area? I blew it many times.
I wish I could have been there, Mike, when you were first asking people for money. I would love that video.
Oh, I bet. Dude, if I had that video today, I would be able to sell that video, because when I started, I didn't know what I was doing. So I was figuring this out. I didn't have a Chris Haskins. I didn't even know Chris Haskins existed. He did exist at the time. His channel just didn't, doggone it. But I didn't even know that there was like coaches out there that help you work through this. I didn't even know there was such a thing. And now, I don't know about you, Chris, but every time I go into a new endeavor now with a new business or anything, I always look for who's done it, who can coach me.
Oh,
yeah, always just like, who can cut my learning curve? You know what I mean? I always do that now. But
that's a habit, though, you developed.
Yeah, but I appreciate that. But boy, did it take some time, because we always want to try to do it ourselves and think we can figure it out, save a buck.
We're men.
Yeah. Boy, that's stupid, isn't it? That even sounds dumb when you say it.
Well, I'm mad.
Yeah. But I mean, when you started, when was the first time you took capital to do a deal?
I remember like it was yesterday.
Well, what kind of deal was it?
It was a flip. I'm like, man, I was studying because I saw that when I put up 20% at the time, I was buying $100,000 house. I was putting up $22,000 to buy it. I had it. But I'm like, after I paid that 22, I didn't know that the lender requires you to pay for construction and then they reimburse you. A lot of people don't know that. They think I'm going to put 20% down, then the lender will give me the money. No.
That is so true. They want to see that work before they give you funds. And most times inspect it, right?
Yeah, it's that they got to do it and inspect it before they even give you more money. So I'm like, this,
Exactly.
Chris, I'm like, if you have the ability to do one of these, one. So I'm like, this ain't gonna work.
No. And think about that. What's your average flip time for a house? What's it take you usually to buy it, flip it, construct, or renovate it, get it back on the market, sell it? What's that time frame usually for you?
Just 6 months, generally
Okay,
speaking.
so if you could do one at a time, that's 2 a year. What's your
That's if
average?
it goes well. If it goes well, 9 months a year. I've had them 14 months.
Yeah, that's the truth. But let's say everything goes right and you do 2 a year. What's an average? And you've gone over this on your channel a bunch, but what do you make per project on average? Maybe 30, 40?
Yeah,
I don't know.
25.
Yeah.
Average 25 grand.
Yeah, let's say 25.
50,000.
So that's a $50,000 a year salary. Not throwing shade on that. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
But what if private money allowed you to do 1 a quarter? You just doubled your income.
That's something, right? Mike. You talked about that earlier too. Doubling I'm like, man, doubling your income that's no joke.
That's no joke. And this is not fake. It's real. Like if you could do that, then you have to become a better leader because you have to be able to lead that. And that's the powerful thing. As you begin to become a leader, you can lead 3-4 projects at once, like Chris does and others do, and I do, with the ability after you can raise capital. Then it becomes the ability, man, this is fun. Now I get to lead people and impact people while I'm doing this. It's not just about real estate, but private money. If you could just do 1 a quarter. Now, a lot of people are doing 1 a month. They're selling 1 off a month because they have enough private money in the hopper. The thing I say all that to say, your income can exponentially increase if you'll just open yourself up to private money, but then understand where investors are and what are they looking to hear from you and see from you.
Yep. So round up, let me just remind you that I'm here with my boy, Mike Fritz, real estate entrepreneur. Learned a ton from him. I love his mindset because he's always learning, always plugging into other people, other systems, other processes, other training stuff. He stretches me. I keep people around me that stretch me, and I don't mind being transparent with him and telling him that when I don't know something or I'm weak at something, I'm like, Mike, I'm not good at that. I'm good at this. I'm good at this. So Mike pushes me to do better, and I'm glad to have you on here with me tonight, Mike.
Oh, I'm glad to have you too, brother. And this is one of the things I love about being in the humble confidence you project is and truly are at your core, because you also are one of those people that I get around and I'm like, man, how do you grow a YouTube channel that impacts millions and millions of people? And I get around people like you and I'm like, man, I got to up my game.
That's right.
And so we got to keep iron, the old verse, iron sharpens iron. We got to keep sharpening each other, man.
I do. So you got a deal, Mike. We've been on here 20 minutes talking this crazy private money world that people think that doesn't exist. Let's show them. I'll show you. I just closed one last week. And Mike, you just closed one with private money. So I like to show my roundup homies before we talk about this little thing we got coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll show you a little bit of what we just did as a team. My team just did.
You ready?
Lexington, Kentucky. Shoot it, brother.
All right.
So we just got this 16-unit deal in Lexington, Kentucky. You'll see 2 8-unit buildings side by side. I primarily, if you don't know much about me, I primarily invest in multifamily real estate or apartment buildings. That's really my niche. And what I found in real estate is, as you learn to raise private money, pick a lane, you'll raise private money way faster because you'll become the guru in one specific leg and people will trust you faster. Then you can spread out into any form of real estate you want, because after you built your investor pool, they just trust you. And so stick in a lane if you can. If you're doing everything, I'm not saying that's bad. There's a lot of different ways to do real estate, but if you could pick a lane, what do you really love to do? And there's a lot of options. I mean, you can peruse Chris' channels and see 5 different options of real estate probably within 3 minutes.
Jack of all trades, master of none. Y'all
You
learn
got it.
one lane. That's what I did. One lane and just master that, then move on.
Yep, exactly. I had a coach say this to me years ago in the coaching industry. People that start specific can go general, but people that start general, it's really hard to go to specific.
Gotcha.
And his whole point was, once you start if you started a marketing agency just helping doctors, well, it's not that hard to move to dentists and then lawyers, because a lot of their practices operate the same, but they got their notoriety helping one niche. Same thing in real estate. The reason that people invest with me, because I know multifamily like the back of my hand, because I've worked my rear end off to figure it out. They know, man, if you want to flip a house, you want to do anything single family, Chris is like the beast. Like, he knows every single sort of, lease option. But I mean, he knows all the ins and outs of what to do. What's the best way? He knows that. You stick in a lane. Private money raises a lot faster when you're raising in a lane. Write that down.
There you go. So
anyway, that is all to say, this was a deal we found in Lexington, Kentucky, which is one of my favorite multifamily markets in the country right now. And it's a power market. Just actually put another offer in on a deal today that I love this market. And so this 16-unit deal, so when you see this, now, before I pull up the numbers, I want to give a caveat to this. The numbers don't, how much I'm raising and what the price of the building is doesn't matter. All the principles apply. What I want you to see here is that how private money can be leveraged so that you can earn money from a deal. Okay, so it's not just making money off the rent from a deal, or when you sell it, you can actually make money to do it. I'll show you what I mean. So we bought this property for $1.395. Now, again, that's a bigger number. Maybe you've never done a project that big, or maybe you have, and that's okay. That's great. But
or that could be a small deal for some people.
Yeah, exactly. Some of you on here might be like, dude, I do those for breakfast. Great. That's not I'm not worried about the number. I'm worried about the system of how you get here. So it's 1.395. Our net income from this property was $39,000 a year. We needed about $395 to close, meaning I had to raise about $395. Now, let me just step back and tell you, inside of that $395,000 number is included it's included the closing costs, the down payment, appraisal, inspection, and a fee we charge to do the deal. Okay. And so that's how that number gets there. And so I will, I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But here's what I want you to see. 100% of this came from private investors. 100% of this came from private investors. And this is how we structure our deals. We give 70% of the income to the investor, 30% to me. So I own 30% of this deal, and I didn't put any money into it.
Wow.
Now, let me show you what this means actually in your pocket. So I'm going to make $11,700 every year. By the way, that's if I never raise rents, which I raise rents. I mean, we raise rents every year to keep up with inflation and the cost of doing business. And but I'm going to make $11,000 a year. So just about $1,000 a month. And I didn't put any money into the deal.
Sweet.
And by the way, I charge a 2% acquisition fee. Now, 2% acquisition fee is $28,000 of the sale price, that $1.395 million. But here's what I want you to see. Who found the deal? You did. Who raised the capital? You did. So who should paid for that work? You should. And you can't build a business if you're not at least throwing in some fees to cover your time. Now, if you have a short window, if you're doing something like fix and flips, that works. You can pull that fee out of there. Although I would encourage you to put in a management fee, even for fix and flips when you're raising capital. Throw in a management fee. Call it an asset management fee. Call it a project control fee. Call it a property whatever you want to call it. Throw in a fee for you doing the deal.
You know, Mike, I so thought about that the other day when I was closing that deal. I'm like, you know what, Mike would put something in this on this head for himself, man. That is just just a crazy strategy.
Well, and the cool thing is, think about this. Let's say you make $50,000 a year in your job. You only have to close 2 of these to double your income.
That's something.
I doubled my income with just 2 deals. 1 deal every 6 months. I just doubled my income. But here's the better thing. 2 deals, you replaced your income. Now you can do real estate full time.
Sweet.
That's the power of private money, baby. come back over here. And then I also charge a 2% asset management fee. So when I'm managing this property, what happens when the property manager needs to call me and ask me a question? Hey, Mike, we just had a unit come loose. Somebody moved out. How much money do you want to put into place? Do you want to do all new cabinets? How do you want to do? I've got to spend my time on that. So I charge a 2% asset management fee. So I make $38.60 a year of the $193,000, which that's the total income of the property per year. I'm going to make $38.60 a year. Now, here's what I want you to see. My very first year of ownership, I made $43,560 my very first year I own the property. Oh,
that's sweet.
So check it out. That's 11.7 plus 28 plus 386 is 43,560 a year. Or I mean, for my first year. Now, since you don't make the acquisition fee every year, your second year of ownership is going to be 15,560. Pull off that acquisition fee. That's if you never raise rents. Mm-hmm. Here's the fun thing. You can do one deal a year or two deals a year, make almost $100,000 a year in fees, and still make that money that $15,000 per property every single year.
And that's unearned income.
That's the benga. And side note, on zero of your own capital.
Zero moment. Sweet.
So people, this is how. So it's not a matter, and I really hate this statement. The reason the rich get richer, it is not because they're bad people. It's because they know strategies. They know information. And that's the whole reason. I mean, think about what is Chris's whole YouTube channel. His mission and ministry is to raise your level of understanding of entrepreneurship and financial literacy. The idea is to grow your ability to see how money works. This is how money works. This is how the rich understand, like, oh, if I leverage other people's money, I don't have to look at my own bank account, and I can do 3 of these a year, and then the deals can get bigger as I raise more capital. And this is how you really grow your wealth and grow your net worth.
Sweet.
And
yeah.
Please don't believe the lie that, yeah, but that's you, or yeah, but that's so-and-so, but it's not me. It's never been any of my parents, my uncles, my aunts. It's never been in my family. It's time to break that generational curse.
That's deep.
In my opinion.
That's deep, Mike. That's deep. Because I never, even when I wake up in the day, I'm like, I cannot believe, like, I'm just ordinary, regular dude, BC student trying to make it work.
Yeah, it's exactly it, dude. It's exact. I graduated from a city. I graduated from a high school. My city had 3,600 people in it, the whole city. 3,600 people. I graduated high school with a 1.9 GPA. Wow. So those people that say, man, you need intellect and you need this, you just need strategy. I mean, Jim Rohn. I love Jim Rohn. Education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune.
Yeah, traditional yourself. Oh, Mike, we got 60 people on here listening to this private money craziness that we have put together, man. It's just weird.
I know, man. I look back when I was doing deals old school, wait until I could save up for a down payment man, it's just so slow. I mean, if this tells you anything, ladies and gentlemen, I walked into 2020. I started buying real estate in 2012. I walked into 2020, 8 years, and I had accumulated 13 units of multifamily real estate.
Wow.
13 units in 8 years. That ain't very big growth. From March of last year in 2020 to today, I own 391. That's the difference of power of private money.
Wow, Mike.
And I don't say that to brag. Please don't look at Mike Fritz. That is literally God working through. It ain't me. But here's what I am trying to tell you. That's the difference of doing it on your own and doing it with private money.
Mm-hmm. Leverage.
Yeah, man. And I heard Mark Cuban say this on Shark Tank one time, because, we own 30% of the deal. But would you rather own 30% of a watermelon or 100% of a grape?
Good point.
And that changed the way I thought. I was listening to Shark Tank, and I'm like, man, that's a really he's talking to entrepreneurs that are worried about their equity, but they're getting these sharks that can grow their business like that. He's saying, don't worry about that. Your little percentage is going to be way bigger than trying to do it on your own. And that's the truth of private money. Don't look at, man, I've got to give 8, 10, 12% away to this private lender. No, look what your bottom line is and keep growing that.
Sweet.
Yeah, man.
Well, thanks for showing us that, Mike.
Thank you, Chris. Well, you got one too, right? You closed one recently.
Yeah, last week, actually. I love taking my daughter to the bank and pulling out money out of the bank is it's quite interesting, and not all of it's mine. Some of my lenders like for me to just hold the money and
Do it
get it
again.
working in another deal.
That's right. Now, see, that's the power of trust, man. They're just like, how much money did I make? Well, you made this much. Okay, just put it into the next one. Just put it into the next. That's power.
You know what I do, Mike? I get a printout of the bank. I'm like, look here, I got the bank statement, or I'll go online, I'll take a picture of the bank. I'm like, look, it's X amount of hundreds of thousands. This much is yours. That's all you need to know. They know the money's in the bank because it's just sitting in there in between deals.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
Yep. So so many ways we're flipping the collateral. Oh, let me zoom in on this thing. Is that small? Sorry about that, y'all. View. How do I zoom in? Oh, there it is. There we go. So round up, homies, if you're just joining us, I got to always make sure I do this. I'm with Mike Fritz. We're talking about private money, not going to the bank, not dealing with credit scores, not dealing with tax returns, no bank application, don't have to go inside and have a profit and loss, down payment, none of that mess that a lot of us are accustomed to thinking that traditional real estate is involved. We're talking about getting loans, no appraisals for these lenders. Let me ask you, do your lenders or your investors require appraisals, Mike?
Yeah. So when they are investing in our deals, we are leveraging both the money they give us and bank money, because we're doing deals. We're leveraging that cheap bank money with the private lenders, and they go on the loan with us. And so the bank will require an appraisal on the structure of our deals. Now,
I'm
when
just
we
talking about your people that are giving you money, though. Do they want to see the appraisal too?
yeah, I mean, they've never asked me for it. They've never asked me for it, but I'll tell you what, they don't, because they know I can't get they know that I can't get a loan if it doesn't appraise, right? So they have an insurance policy against that.
They don't even ask. Round up. If y'all think, a lot of us think, well, aren't they going to know this? They want to know that. They want to know this. They don't even think about this stuff, y'all.
No. And most of them don't even know the system. You know what I mean?
They want to pay you to know the system.
Exactly. That's exactly. They don't want to be on this call tonight. They want you to and use their money.
There you go. So this is a house is a 4 or 5 bedroom house, y'all. I'm looking at houses less and less as I get older. I never forget Ron LeGrand says, I don't even like going to the houses because all I do is slow it down. Slow down and work. So it's 2,300 square feet. We picked it up last week for 300,000. I always round up. Do you always round up, Mike?
Yeah. Yep.
So it was 295. I just said 300,000. So what I did was I approached these two guys. My first guy had $100,000 to make the deal work. My second guy is in second position, got $100,000 in there as well. And what we did was, let me do this so y'all can see. Sorry about that. What we did was we brought 100,000 of our own cash to make the deal close, and then we'll put 50,000 in the reno to make this thing work. So on a $300,000 purchase price, we had to bring 100, and we brought in some of that 100 actually is me. I've leveraged against other properties, which I don't want to get into that tonight. We'll talk about more of that in the mastery. You can leverage. Did you know you can leverage? You can borrow money against property B and use the money for property C, so it's just crazy when you learn how to substitution of collateral, moving collateral around.
And by the way, your private lenders can do that too. They can leverage their own collateral, invest in your deals.
There you go. It's the same thing. Just you got to understand collateralization, which we won't get into that tonight.
No.
So we got 50. We have to do 50 on the reno, and then our sales price is 450, and we'll pay them all back. And what I like to do, round up, homies and Mike, y'all already know I love giving, right? So I'm like, if I took that same giving mentality and I said, look, if I give you a lien against a property that's worth 400 when fixed up, and all you got to do is put up 100, would that be a safe deal for you? That means if I get hit by a bus, you get to step in and get a house back that's worth 4. I mean, it's like if you just keep that giving mindset, I promise y'all, I'm giving. So let me repeat that again. Round up, the house is worth as is. It's probably worth 350. Let's say 375. We already bought it at a discount. It's gonna be worth 450 once we fix it up. So all I need is 2 to do the deal. So if you could liquidate this property, I'm giving to you. I'm asking you to loan me 200 when the house is worth 400. If I get hit by a bus, you liquidate it and you get your money back. Would that be a fair deal?
The answer is yes.
Yeah, the answer is yes. I'm giving you way more value. I mean, I see it clear as day now, Mike. You know, when I bring them in, it's a no brainer. It's just a no
Absolutely.
brainer because they're so secured.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. When I started out, I'm like trying to get. You can't ask somebody else to build your real estate empire if you're not willing to take some of the risk on. I found that out too. So don't always just get somebody else to bring all the money. It just, it feels good to bring some of the capital.
Absolutely. Well, and once you start making money, you're going to want to leverage your own deals, because where else are you going to make money on your money?
There you go.
Now, when I started off, here's a line I used with my investors when I didn't have the 100,000 to bring to a deal, but I know I should. Here's a line I used when they said, well, are you bringing any money to the deal? This is what I said. Well, here's the deal. My job is to bring value to investors. And if I take up a spot, it takes away a spot that an investor can have. And
I like that, Mike.
And so I don't want to rip away value from our investors. So my job is to keep openings for our investors so that we don't take any of those spots away. And I say sometimes we do take spots away, but on this deal, we're not going to take any spots away. And that's how I word that.
I love it. I love it. So listen, we are raising private money. We want to show you how to do the same with the private money mastery. You want to tell them what we got for them for the Black Friday block party special, Mike?
I love it. I love it, man. Well, first of all, when Chris and I started talking about private money, Chris and I have been working together for about a year. I feel like we've known each other for a decade. Mm-hmm. We've been working together for about a year and been doing a lot of stuff together. And we found that we both do two different kinds of private money. Chris does a lot with the lending side. I do a lot with the equity structure side, meaning they invest and you give them pieces of your deal and you don't pay them unless the deal makes money. And there's two different kinds. So Chris and I said, what if we created a toolbox, put all the tools in one box, gave it to you so you knew which tool to pull out for which deal and how to use it. So we created this event called Private Money Mastery, where we are going to go live. It's a live virtual event, and we're going to go live for 2 full days and teach you. We're going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at you. I ain't kidding you. We're going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at you in 2 days. It's going to be December 10 and December 11th, Friday and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific time, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific time, 17 and a half days away from that event. And Chris and I are going to give everything you got. Now, Mike, what's this event cost? Well, when Chris and I started talking, we are literally going to give this entire event to you for $5. Yeah, I know. I can't believe we're doing it either. We're actually going to give it away for the price of a Starbucks coffee, where you get to come and hang out with us for 2 full days learning the private money game. If you are ready to learn private money, you will never see this much value for $5. I guarantee you. Chris and I were talking earlier today on live. We're like, why in the world are we giving this away for $5? And but here's the fun thing for Chris and I, because as you both know, Chris and I are givers. We love people, and we actually are going to take 100% of that money, of that $5, and give it away to our charity, which is Operation Underground Railroad. All that money is going to go to the charity of ending sex trafficking and human exploitation. And we want to really end this as much as we can. So it's going to be fun at the event. We're going to be able to announce how much money we were able to give to Operation Underground Railroad. Sweet. And we'll announce that at the event December 10 and 11. Everybody on here tonight, do yourself a favor, throw $5 at this event. Now, let me tell you something real quick. When you sign up, I'll walk you through it in just a second. But when you sign up, you'll click the sign up now button. A little thing will pop up just to put your name and email in. When you go to step 2, like if I put my name and email in and I go to step 2, you're going to just put your card number in for the $5. And there's an opportunity here to get a bunch of products Chris and I put together to just to say, hey, thank you for coming. It's literally, I don't even know what we threw this at, $97. If you want to, we threw like 3 courses in there. Chris's prospectus, we threw everything in the kitchen sink at you. So for $5, you get the ticket to the event. And if you want, don't pass this. It won't, because this is a one-time offer. Don't pass this page if you want all that. Read that little paragraph, because there's a lot of value there. Make sure you read that and join. But here's the reason we're doing this. If my passion to power up real estate is to help 10,000 people acquire a piece of real estate. Chris's passion is to raise people's financial literacy and understanding of entrepreneurship. We said, let's come together for the first time and let's take a private lending guy and a private equity guy and let's give them both. Let's give them the gamut of tools in one box. And so, yes, Chrissy, it is a virtual event. Chris and I will probably in 2022 have a live version of this. So just keep your eyes peeled, ladies.
We are. I'm getting out of this house. I'm sick.
I'm sick of my house. If I have to see this camera with this background one more time, I'm going to throw up. And so, yeah, we are definitely doing some live stuff in 2022 because Chris and I have decided to not just throw an event, but we're going to build something really special, helping the real estate community with a trusted resource for raising private capital. Yep. So $5, you get your ticket. If you want to join a VIP package, you get a lot of value there. For
I promise you, that package you ain't that is when your team called me.
Yeah, you'll never get that again. In fact, when I told Chris that, he's like, "Mike, are you kidding me? Are we really giving that much away for $97?"
I did. My private prospectus is $300 by itself.
I know. There's about $3,000. Everything on there sells for about $3,000 on our respective website.
Yeah.
And so we just want to give it to you to say, hey, you're in. We want to give you some tools because here's the thing. I realized long ago, the coaches I invested in and the programs I bought, they changed my life.
There you go.
I remember Dan Kennedy said this. You'll love this, Chris. Dan Kennedy. Back in the day when we bought hard courses, remember when we went to events, we bought courses and we unwrapped the CDs when we got home or the cassettes, remember? Yeah. And Dan Kennedy said, if you walk into somebody's office and you see courses stacked everywhere, some of them are open, some of them are spread open where you can tell he's been looking at them or she's been looking at them. He said, stay as long as you can. If you walk into somebody's office with a bookshelf with just a couple books and it's completely clean and empty, leave as soon as you can.
I remember that one. I heard him do that one before.
It's so funny. It's so funny. So anyway, $5 get you tickets to the live event, and you can just you don't have to take the $97. We just want you to be at the event with us for $5. But if you want some more resources, some more package, we threw it together. Just click that thing as you're rolling up through the cart, and you'll be locked and loaded. I was actually putting things into our membership course today of the stuff that you're going to get. It's really, really pretty powerful.
You're a mess, Mike.
I'm pumped for December 10 and 11, baby.
This is going to be cool. You're going to get Mike and me, two guys raising millions of dollars. And I'm not saying that to say that we're here, you're there, better, worse, we got whatever. Y'all, I want y'all to have this stuff too. There's more than enough out there for everybody to get. You just got to program that mind. Upgrade your operating system. My mentor said, Chris, when the last time you upgraded your operating system?
That's so
your computer goes all the time. How many times you log on and you see that little thing in the corner of the screen that says update? You change the colors. Needed. What's your mind? When was the last? I tell my wife, I'm like, come on, we gotta upgrade our OSs, relationships, finances, real estate, all that stuff, man. You got to go upgrade your OS.
Absolutely, man. That's so true. I was at a mastermind this weekend and a question was asked, Mike, if you wanted to 3x your income or 5x your income next year, what kind of person would you have to be in order to do that?
Yeah.
And the list of things, I'll tell you, they weren't tactical. They were all my belief systems and my habits. They were my belief systems and my habits. It's how the people I hung out with, the amount I gave back. I've realized, I don't know who's on the call tonight, but I've realized the more I give away, for me, it's my church. The more I give away, the more it's like a metric, man. The more I give, the more gets replaced.
Gotta give. Dan Kennedy talked about that. He said I cannot explain it, but you give it here, it shows up over there.
It does every single time. And that's why Chris and I said, let's make part of our belief system is giving. So let's give in this event. Let's give back.
So round up, get signed up if you want to hang out with me and Mike 2 days. Mike, I just can't believe I'm gonna be there for that much time, which is we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it, man. You're gonna get the full sink, the kitchen sink of private money. How to talk to investors. What do you say? What do you say when investor says, okay, well, what kind of returns do I get?
There you go.
Say, how do you respond to questions like that? What kind of industry language are they expecting to hear? Mm-hmm. It's so important. And this is what I didn't know that cost me millions of dollars early on in my career.
Early on.
Yeah. The bruises I have from falling down from ignorance. I tripped over my ignorance more than once, by the way.
We got 48 people here, Mike. Let's see. Let's do some Q&A roundup. Get signed
Yes,
up.
sir.
The video description is below. I'm with my boy Mike Fritz, and we're gonna we're actually. I'm being honest with y'all. We're going to be turning this into some type of training. I mean, we're going to do this event for you, but we're going to turn this into something that you can come to it eventually, and hang out with us more to learn how to get your private money up, so you can buy as much real estate as you want. You know, I'm like, it feels good. Not only helping people to do that, but I'm like to roll with other guys that have assets too. Unless you're the only guy that has all the assets in the room, it's no fun.
No. This is Chris and I are. This is not just an event. This is the start of something pretty special where we're going to build a really fun community of people that want to raise capital and partner together. And I'm so freaking pumped.
It's gonna be cool, man.
Yes, sir. Jay. What do we got?
How you say that, Mike?
Rogelio, maybe?
Rogelio? Is LinkedIn the best place to find private lenders, Mike?
So if you're looking on social media, it all depends on your strategy. So is your strategy posting content? Is your strategy banging the messenger box or the inbox? What's your strategy? Now, I will say LinkedIn is the highest net worth per user of any social media platform. So you're going to find a lot more people on LinkedIn that have money, but then you have to figure out how to surface them for conversations. So whether it's whether it's Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn, it doesn't matter. YouTube, you have to decide your strategy is really what should depend on your platform. Your platform, yes, you need to go where your people are hanging. I mean, if you're going after corporate CEOs, yes, LinkedIn, go. But then you have to start asking, does LinkedIn fit the strategy? Because sometimes, going live and going other places, it changes, right? And so you have to make sure that your strategy lines up. So LinkedIn is a good place to find investors, but you have to have a solid strategy. And most people are just banging the inbox, and that is just a very non-effective way.
That is so played out, man. I just can't. I mean, how many messages do I get on LinkedIn? You got to be a little more tactful than that.
As soon as I accept somebody's connection, I know for sure I'm getting a message from them. Hey, Mike, I see that you have a business and I could change your life, or whatever. That stuff is it's so cheesy. I just think it's so cheesy. I'm like, you don't even know me, I'm not even
going to go there, man. Yeah, I can't stand it. I'm like, take some time to get to know me. This like the beautiful girl. It's weird. You get a beautiful female. Obviously, she knows you like her, but I'm like, everybody loves. Well, let me ask you. I love hanging out with dudes that are not just going right for the money. There's more to you than that.
Exactly. I mean, it's like, there's some crasser examples that Dan Kennedy used to use, but the whole idea is that you don't get married on date one. You court people, you date people, you get to know people, let them get to know you. Private money is the art of quickly building relationships.
Quickly, yeah.
That's really
done too. Gina, hey, has the real estate flurry in Virginia Beach stopped me from buying? No.
Nothing stops my boy Chris Haskins. No. Come on now.
I got a saying. Who is that, Gina? I don't care if the real estate market is going up, down, left, right, forwards, backwards, or even sideways. You can still make money in real estate. I've been there. I've seen ups and downs and backs.
Real estate investors that need the right economy never last.
They ain't gonna make it.
They don't make it because, I mean, we're rarely in a right now, like where it's perfect time. Like this doesn't happen a lot. This will go away and we'll be in a depression. That's what real estate does. And the people that know how to buy at all times, those are the ones that are going to make it.
That's true, man. I got to tell y'all, I want you to know that private money is the biggest reason I was able to weather the storm in 2008 too.
There you go. Boom.
I'm selling a unit, Gina, at 12 o'clock. Time to sell. I'm not sure if time to, but yeah, I think you sent me an email, Gina. Can you send me another email on that? I've been meaning to run that by Mike. That might be something we're interested in.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you
go. I hear there are a lot of scam private lenders out there. Is that true? Yes. Do you want to hit that, Mike?
Yeah. So on our side, on the equity side, they don't make money till the deal makes money. And it's really, they're on the loan and the risk. So we don't get a lot of investing scammers because we have legal contracts that protect against that. But when you're doing lending like Chris does, There are definitely private lending. Private equity, there's not as much scammers because they're more partnerships of the deal and contractually partnered legally. But on the lending side, yeah, I'll let Chris touch on that for sure.
Yeah, we'll get into more of that at the private money mastery event. But yes, if a lender, I got people calling me. I mean, I get emails every day or Facebook messages, LinkedIn. Your loan is approved. All you need to do is blah blah blah. Don't even know.
If your loan's approved before they know one thing about you, run.
I'm like, don't you want to see the property? I mean, don't
you want to see if I'm a scam artist? Don't you want to check me out a little bit?
Don't you want to know anything? I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I need to get some coffee. Yeah, I had a little thing. Betty, hey Betty, where do you find good honest lender that don't want to rip you off? That's a good one.
Yeah, so there's not one way to find 50
Several
lenders.
ways.
There's 50 ways to find one.
Yeah.
And here's what I've realized. It's not I find investors. It's my life is about building relationships that surface investors. So this is a different, like I was at lunch with a buddy the other day, just a friend. He owns a really high-end speakeasy bar here. And he's an entrepreneur, owns some smaller multifamilies. He's into the hotel market and really just a real estate guy himself. He's a really brilliant entrepreneur. He's got some SDIRA funds, and we were just talking. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this deal. He goes, hey,
wait a minute. What's SDIRA, Mike?
Sorry.
Slow down.
My bad. SDIRA is self-directed IRA. And you can, if people have an IRA, they can move it to a self-directed, meaning they can direct it. They can direct it by themselves. They can put it into your real estate deal. Do you know there's $29 trillion in America of investable revenue in retirement accounts right now?
Wow.
That's a lot of money. And so my point in saying that is he had a little bit of money in a little retirement account. He's like, hey, I mean, a couple $100,000, that to him, that's a little money. He's like, hey, do you mind if I throw that into one of your deals? I don't really have anything going on right now. And I'm like, absolutely. He's just a buddy. I have lunch with him probably once every other week. And all of a sudden one meal turned into $200,000. So this is the point of finding investors. The big mindset shift is you don't go out to find investors. You're always building relationships that surface investors.
There you go.
Which means you need to upgrade the communities you hang out with.
Upgrade
the communities. I'm not messing with your friends or your boys or whatever, but I'm telling you, got to upgrade that community. Upgrade the community so that they're pushing you to go better, right? Pushing you to be better. Jim Rohn, 5 people you hang around most, your income is going to be the average of those 5 people. So if that's true, I want to be the poorest person in the room.
So round up, make sure you get signed up. The link is in the video description. Me and Mike will be doing the Private Money Mastery December, 10th and 11th?
Yes, sir. December 10 and 11, 8 to 4 Pacific time. Here, let me come back here real quick. Let me come back here real quick. So you'll come here to this page. You click that link, and you'll see Chris and I's crazy faces right there. December 10 and 11, we're doing Private Money Mastery, where we're really teaching the toolbox. We're opening up the toolbox. We're going to put in a couple different tools, and each deal you might use a different tool. And you're going to learn some tips and tricks on how to pay yourself for raising money and how to structure these deals, no matter if it's on the lending side, which is Chris's expertise, or on giving away equity, which is my expertise. We're going to put both those tools in here so you can know which tool to pull out when. So that's why we're calling it mastery. You're really going to be able to land private funding for your deals. And the $5 goes to our charity, the Operation Underground Railroad, that's ending sex trafficking and human exploitation. And so the $5 will go to that. And then once you sign up for that, you're going to come in here and you're going to have the opportunity to snag a VIP package that's going to have a lot of Chris and I courses and stuff together that we just want to bless you. It's worth $3,000, just that package. Don't let that go, because you won't find that again. You'll have to come back to it. So make sure you snag that.
You know how we are. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't have time for it. So when we put all that, you getting not all, but a lot of value in that thing. I don't give that away. So
no.
Welcome, Rashid. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, Fernando just asked, Chris, will the December 10 and 11 event be recorded? Part of what you get with the VIP is you get recordings of the events for a lifetime.
Sweet.
So once you upgrade to VIP, you get recordings for a lifetime, Fernando. Sorry, brother. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, we're good. We had somebody just joined up. I was just going to say, Rashid, thank you. Welcome to the Private Money Mastery event, my friend.
Welcome, Rashid. Good to have you, my buddy.
Yeah, I just
We're
joined.
gonna have a
Chrissy
fun
just
time.
joined up. Yeah, this is virtual. Mike, we didn't put virtual on the thing. I thought we put virtual on
No,
there.
it's on the bottom, scrolling across right there. Live virtual event.
Oh yeah, there you go. We did.
Yeah. It's live virtual. It's a live virtual event. Once you join, you'll have opportunity to join the Facebook group. The event's going to be put into a Facebook group so that you can comment and interact with people. A lot of times on Zoom, it's hard to connect with people, but on Facebook, you can follow people and DM people and connect. And we want to build, Chris and I want to build a community, not just an event. We want to build a place for people to connect. You might meet somebody in there. Somebody has a deal. You find a way to get money. You got yourself a match.
Networking. Fernando, what's the difference between these trainings and Chris's private money training? Are the deed of trust and promissory note not included? Mike got all my. I just gave Mike all my stuff, man. You gonna have to lay that out. I don't know.
So I don't know. Your private money training module is probably a piece, but we're going to go deeper and deeper and deeper at this event. And the deed of promissory note is not included. That I believe that is not included. I don't think it is anywhere. But Chris's private money training is money. That's what made me say we need to put this together. And that is, we're going to go deeper and deeper and deeper to the psychology of the investor, why they think the way they think, how to connect with them in the languaging they're looking to hear, and how you can build that list fast. And so we're going to be going into all that.
We recorded. Patricia Rowe, your Section 8 package was great. Well, I appreciate you for supporting me, Patricia. Hey.
Yeah.
It's your second Section 8 tenant. Or you're working on it. Praise God. Good for you. You gotta come on and tell people about that good government money.
I love that. We call that tax recycling.
Tax recycling tax dollars.
I'll pay the taxes. It comes back to me. It's just tax recycling, baby.
Yep. Chrissy wants to know, if I do the 97, is there a time limit to start using the resources? I have a lot going on right now.
Nope. Those are all lifetime resources. You get the event. You get a whole 5-day challenge I did, a whole 5-day multifamily challenge that I recorded. I'm giving you Chris's stuff. You're going to get a webinar Chris and I did together of how to land your first investor in 72 hours. You're going to get that. Wow. You're going to get all kinds of stuff, and it's all lifetime stuff. You don't have to use it within whatever.
So we are recording it, Fernando. Patricia, yes, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Good Lord. Wow. Do you need a lawyer? Laureano. I don't know.
Laureano. I think that's Laureano. Yeah. Laureano.
Do you need a lawyer to draw up the promissory note and other forms, or can you use generic forms for a private money lender?
What do you say, man?
Yeah, I've got docs. I don't know how we're going to do that. Well, I'm following Mike's lead. I do have my deed of trust and my promissory note. We have to talk about that, Mike. I guess we have to talk to your team and see how we're going to lay that out, because you got to have one eventually.
Yeah. So if you're using private money lending, you're going to use that. If you're using what I have, there's a couple different documents you just have to know about. And we'll talk about that at the event. You just basically have to know about an LLC and operating agreement. You can just put that together and buy the property, because everybody's investing in the deal. You can just structure it in an operating agreement. So you need an OA, operating agreement, on the back of your LLC, and you're good. That lays out the members and what percentages they own. Or if you're doing a different kind of raise, which we'll talk about this at the event, called a syndication, where you put all your money into a big pool and you invest in a big deal. There's a document called a PPM, private placement memorandum. We'll talk about that at the event. Don't get caught up on those things or say, oh, this is way over my head. It's not, I promise you. We're going to break it down line by line.
Is there a link to sign up? Yes, Angela, the link. Oh, I put the wrong one. The video description. I got too many stinking things here. Which one is it?
I got it right here, brother. I'm going to put it. Oh, I can't comment. Sorry. I was going to throw it in. I can't comment.
Register for the 2-day live event. Start using other people's money. Private money, Matt. Oh, there it is right there. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. So many things in my mind. Register below. The link's in the video description below, my friend. I'm with Mike Fritz, talking about private money. Private money. Don't worry about going to the banks for all the money. At least consider using ordinary people. Sandrika, hey, love that smile. Will there be a pitch deck proposal available for the training, Mike?
Yes. So I will go through my pitch deck in the training. So I'll actually go through my pitch deck and what you want to have in your investor presentations. I'll walk through, because doing a pitch deck is usually for bigger deals. Like, I'll bet you for your private lenders, Chris, you probably don't even put a PowerPoint pitch deck together, do you? for most
I
of your
don't
lenders.
even know what a pitch deck is, which is
Yeah.
why I'm
So
gonna be.
a pitch deck's just a PowerPoint presentation that has all of the information of the deal in it. What's the rate of return? Where's the deal? It just has a bunch of. I'm going to walk through my pitch deck for you and what I add and why, so you can understand how to give a good investor presentation. What happens when you get online and they're like, walk me through the deal, and they want to know that deal? Well, you got to have a presentation, and I'll walk through that. That's part of the things we'll train at that Private Money Mastery. Absolutely.
Sweet. Okay. I'm telling y'all, I love being honest, transparent. I do not know everything. I
Well,
know
yeah,
what's
and you
worked
want to
for
know
me.
something? I don't know what a promissory note. I've never done one of those. That's why Chris and I said, dude, we've got something special here. You do something completely different than I do, and we both are buying real estate every day. And so that's why we put together this community.
Welcome, Betty. Welcome to the VIP section. It's good to see you, my friend.
See you, Betty. Welcome,
All right.
welcome, welcome.
All right, where do you start to source private lenders? That's very simple. It's friends and family, my friend. We'll get into that stuff deeper.
Yep.
All right, Mike. I got to pick my friend up from the airport. You got anything else you want to do before we
brother,
leave out of here?
I just wanted to tell everybody that joined tonight, I'm really thankful that you took time out of your night to hang with us. We're really thankful for that.
Yeah, man. The video, the link is in the video description. You got both of us 2 days. Both of us have raised millions of dollars. Not to say that that's. I never forget the first when I first got into the real estate business. I was hanging out with a guy I just met. He was doing an $11 million deal. And he was like, "Man, this is one of my small deals." So, a few $1,000,000 is just not a lot of money in the realm of the money business. Round up, you'll have us December coming up, right? Second week of December, 10th and 11th. It's an honor to hang out with you. 11 to 7 Eastern Standard, PST, 8 a.m. in the morning. All right, Mike.
Thank you so much, Chris, for having me on, dude. And I'm excited for this community we're building together, brother.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. Round up. Make sure you take a second to subscribe to the channel, like this content, share with anybody else that you think can get some value out of raising money. Will there be a replay? Everlasting photos. Is there a replay? Is that for the VIPs only, Mike?
Will there be a replay of the classes if we can't view? Yeah. So if you once you get your ticket, if you snag your VIP ticket as well, click that box below when you're filling out your putting in your payment information. You can you'll get lifetime recordings of the event.
Cool. Appreciate that, Mike. All right, guys.
All right, brother.
I'll see you guys. Oh, the luncheon info. Yes, Jason, the luncheon info is in the video description too. I forgot. I'll email it to you. Okay. Talk to you soon, Mike.
Hey, see you, brother.